Hey, good morning everyone and welcome to Short Sale Power Hour. This is Kodak. I'm Fred. This is Kevin. Your name's Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Just checking it was still Kevin. We're Group 4610. You're watching ShortSalePowerHour.com.
Still gonna change my name to Remote.
Okay, well I just wanted to introduce Kodak this morning.
That was nice of you.
So, okay, announcements quickly. This Saturday, as in like tomorrow. We're doing Active Rains rainstorm event. Details are below. Starts at 7 p.m. in Anaheim, California.
You gotta come check it out.
Next Monday, so like 4 days from now, we're teaching a class 1 p.m. also in Anaheim. Next Tuesday, like 5 days from now, we're doing a panel also at 1 p.m. And we've got a couple great classes coming up in March. We are teaching in Northern Virginia, and we're also teaching in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Correct.
And then April 1st, don't forget, of course, is our Short Sales Uncensored class. And I believe you and I you're gonna have to fight me on this one, but I believe the price is going up on March 1st.
Oh yeah.
Like, so the $99 price is over as of February, and like codes to almost get you to $99 probably aren't gonna happen.
No,
Okay.
I don't believe in that.
Okay, so just making sure we're on the same page there. So make sure you check all those out. So hey, it's Freaky Friday. We've had other names
Got
for
a
this
freaky
show.
story?
Yeah, well, here's the freaky part of this story. In all the short sales we've ever done, we've never had a first and a second loan, both needing to be shorted, where both files were in the recovery department of two different institutions.
So the first loan was in the recovery department of an institution.
And the second loan was also in the recovery department of a different
separate
institution.
institution.
Now,
Okay.
real quickly, because I know you don't know all the details of the story, for viewers out there that may not be familiar with what a recovery department is, can you quickly explain that to them?
Yeah, you know, the recovery department is when a bank essentially charges, they call it charging it off. When they've charged off a loan. And here's the thing, I just realized in the last year or two you could do this with a first mortgage. But when you've charged it off, a bank has essentially written it off their books as non-collectible. They can do a couple things. They can sell it to a third-party company, which is what happens a lot, or they could charge it off, write it off their books, and give it over to their recovery department. The recovery department almost acts as a separate party as well, as a separate company, if you will, and it's all about collections at that point.
Yep.
I mean, their whole point is to just collect money,
Yep.
collect whatever they can, scratch, crawl, claw, and just pull money out of that person. So
Yeah, so both of these loans were basically they have to be so far delinquent for them to charge it off. And I don't know what the internal analysis is of why you would charge off versus foreclose and that kind of stuff.
I don't really know the difference.
But when you charge off, typically you're not going to foreclose. You're just charging the loan off.
Yep.
It's really interesting. I
don't understand
I don't even
that.
know why a first lender would do that.
No, I don't understand that strategy at all. Perhaps one of the bank employees that watch the show could write us, send us a quick email.
I'd love it if anybody out there knows. You could maybe comment below.
I'd rather hear it from a bank employee.
So here's the deal. I'm not going to tell you the bank names that are in this specific example, but I will tell you the banks you'll find that charge things off most frequently, based on our experience. Chase and GMAC have been the two banks that and Citi, excuse me, thank you.
Not on a high level, but Citi also. We've seen quite a few.
But yeah, Chase, GMAC, and Citi have been the three lenders that we've seen charge loans off more frequently. I don't know that we've ever had anything at Wells or B of A Recovery.
Oh, I've had one at B of A Recovery, and I remember doing it because I did it from San Diego. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But one compared to a lot for Chase, GMAC, and Citi.
Yeah.
Interesting. So anyway, so this first lender, recovery department, I think we actually told this story maybe a month or two ago about how they had actually their last BPO had been done in like March or April of 2010.
9-10 months ago, whatever.
And so they valued the property at some exorbitant amount. And finally, after some escalation inside of that said recovery department, got them to order a new BPO. And of course that BPO, and I say of course because I was really confident on this one. Like there was several sold comps and actives and pendings. Of course it came back and supported our value. So they agreed to the short sale. Now the second lender, this one was a little bit more difficult because their loan, and I don't know how this works, I'm going to be real honest with you. Again, maybe somebody else can give us insight, but the second lender charged it off, but their loan supposedly anyway was owned by E-Trade. Now, I don't know if a servicer can charge off a loan on behalf of an investor or if technically you have to own the property, it has to be in your portfolio to charge it off. That would be something that I'm not positive on. So I was told E-Trade owned it, but I'm starting to wonder how many lenders out there are saying E-Trade owns their second mortgages because they know that there's this story now going around in the industry that E-Trade wants more money. And so why not just tell everybody that E-Trade owns the loan?
From now on, E-Trade's the investor in all your
It's a great strategy. So if you start seeing that more, I'd question it.
I know it works at B of A.
Yeah, I'd question it. So anyway, E-Trade owns the second mortgage, so we have to battle with them a little bit because, of course, the first recovery department doesn't want to give very much to the second, right?
Right.
So we get the standard 3, which actually was a pretty decent offer.
Considering the balance on the second, it was a really
the second's like a $35,000 balance, but they wanted 5. So in this situation, we actually had the homeowner come in with a few $1,000s, which is not necessarily a strategy we use a lot. But it happened to be that because they were both recoveries, because
the second had deficiency
rights, it was a home equity line of credit, that it was in the homeowner's best interest to clear them both out, have them both gone, and so she went along with it, pretty easily. And I think it was a good decision. Had I been in that situation, I'd have done the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you and I handle homeowners coming to closing with cash. Is would we do it?
Yeah.
If we were in that situation, do we see it as beneficial? And if we think it does, then we usually present it to the homeowner.
Well, it benefits her over foreclosure. Foreclosure would have her still owing them $30,000.
Absolutely. So give them 2.
That costs her $2,000
to get rid of your entire balance and have a short sale rather than a foreclosure under credit.
Yep.
Pretty decent if you ask me.
Yeah,
so
kind of a no-brainer.
Anyway, there's not a big story behind here other than to say this was the very first short sale we've had where both files were in recovery.
Here's what it does tell me though, Fred, and I think this is where a lot of agents tend to fall short in their short sale game because a lot of us who maybe have some experience, maybe have done 50 or more short sales, kind of get to the point where we think we know what's going on and we know what to expect. And the reality is, here you and I are, we're on, I don't know, somewhere between short sale number 350 and 400. I don't know where we're at, to be honest, right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're up there, hundreds, lots of experience, and we've never experienced that. We've never once seen that before.
Yeah.
And so you and I are learning something new about our game. Now, you and I, though, constantly play detective. You and I are constantly looking for more information, constantly looking for ways to improve our game, constantly looking for indications on what the banks are doing, what the services are doing, the investors are doing. And so we catch stuff like this, and that didn't really throw us off too much. We learned something in the process, but it really didn't throw us off. Where I know a lot of agents, I get questions like on Facebook, and we get emailed questions through the website all the time. The second lender wants this, and the first lender wants that, but it's in recovery, and what do I do? Does this mean I was told that means I can't do a short sale? No, just keep learning and keep digging and keep fighting.
Yep.
Solve the problem, and I mean that's what you got to do.
Well, and it is, and we could talk about recovery departments for an hour on this show, honestly.
Easily.
And then in some classes we do cover it a little bit deeper, where recovery departments are generally a little tougher. They're not as concerned with short sale versus foreclosure because they've already charged it off. They're much more collection minded than they are mitigation
they've
minded.
already realized the loss of their books.
They're looking at statistics inside their bank of how much could they sell this debt off for to a collection company versus how much could they receive versus how much will they get at foreclosure versus short sale. It's how much will I get at short sale versus selling this debt off to a third-party collection company. Right. So there's a lot of different factors in there. And I will bring up one last point and we'll wrap up with this. This loan, actually, the first loan was actually serviced by a collection company. The collection company was unwilling to order a new BPO. So I went directly back to the original lender that owned the loan, that bank, and I went to their recovery department because I know recovery departments oversee collection departments.
Absolutely.
And I escalated inside the recovery department to get them to tell the collection company to order a new BPO and get the deal done. So there's a tip right there for you. If you're tired of dealing with collection companies, go back to the recovery department that hired that collection company. They still have the authority to pull the file back in, tell the collection company what to do. They've got a lot of authority still when it comes to that. Yep. So anyway, that's it. That's all I got for now. Hope to see you guys tomorrow at I keep wanting to call it Rain Camp.
It's a rainstorm.
Rainstorm in Anaheim.
It's kind of our audition for Rain Camp. Jonathan, why don't you get us on?
Absolutely, and make sure you check out our class on Monday. I hope it's standing room only.
It will be.
I hope literally we have to move all the chairs out and people have to just stand to hear the class.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody in the first 10 rows can sit with their legs folded.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to say it right now again because I said it last Wednesday or Friday.
Okay.
Our short sales uncensored class we're doing in Vegas is unbelievably crazy material. And I'm the most excited I've ever been about a class we've done.
Well, because we know how much good stuff is in there.
So if you're considering coming and you're like, well, I see the write-up, but like I don't really get where the value is. Well, if we can't promote and tell you everything we're going to talk about because, well, that could cause complications. Let's just put it that way. So if you want to know what we're going to teach, write to us. Contact us right here through the website. There's a contact us button on shortsalepower.com. I'll send you an email with what we're going to talk about that I can't really advertise.
It's good. I promise.
Let's wrap it up. 1, 2, 3. Short Sale Power Hour. Short Sale Power Hour. Crush it. Family reunion.
See you
Starts
there.
Sunday.
KWFR.